I'm laughing because all the time I have to deal with this lighting situation. Maybe I'll just delete that part. It would be like that's kind of looks like I'm in a sci-fi movie. But anyway, hey, what's going on? It's me, Sean, and I want to tell you that I've made videos about plastics and how you shouldn't use them. I'm so sorry. I'm so hoarse. And one thing that I didn't get to is that medicine comes in plastics, and it comes from obviously the pharmacy, and but the I would say it's big pharma that encases everyone's pills in plastic. Adversely, uh, needles are made of plastic as opposed to steel. When I get an IV at the hospital, the needle in actuality is plastic. And I know that because I asked the nurse once because I was bending my arm back and forth, and she says, "No, I can't break because it's plastic." So a lot, and the medicine that you get in the IV bags are also made of plastic. And I've made a video stating that plastic is bad for you. It's in the realm of depopulation. It's a deliberate attempt to erase humans from the planet. And this is done by the Cabal. You can call it the Illuminati, skull and crossbones, but it's the Cabal. And all governments are into it. There's not one government, I would say, the only governments that are not or have not fallen to the cabal are African nations. And that's why Africa suffered uh, the virulent attack of AIDS and Ebola. Because when the leaders of Africa went to the meetings that were held by the cabal, the kings and the rulers of those African nations, and believe me, we have our own problems, stated that they would not destroy their own people. So it was set forth by the CDC, the Center for Disease Prevention, and believe me, if you can eradicate a disease, you first have to find out the chemical makeup of that particular disease. So in actuality, I'm under the belief that the CDC formulates AIDS, Ebola, viruses, cancer, diabetes. Uh, it's so bizarre because you can't cure the common cold. You can send a man to the moon, as the old commercial says, but you can't cure the common cold. There is a cure for everything, believe me. But the CDC makes more money in giving you what would I say? It's not even preventive. It's more like it cures the pain and the not even the onslaught of diseases. It just I don't want to say progresses, but there's no cure when you take medicines. Medicines are supposed to cure you of diseases and illnesses, and it never does that. It stops the pain in a lot of cases. It slows down the effect, but never, never, never does it cure diseases. There are some percentages of people out there who've been cured of cancer and diabetes and the like. Again, I'm so sorry, but that's a small percentage as the people who are under medical advice. And this is to keep the multitude of people to continue. So you have, say for instance, you have 10 people who have a particular disease, they're taking medicine, so their cure may be 8 out of the 10, which is a high percentage. Let's say 4 or 5 out of the percentage of 10. And that keeps the other percentages of people saying, well, if those people are cured by taking pills and being under the doctor's care, then we're going to continue. And I am not an aficionado as to whether a person should take medicine or not. Continue to take your medicine. Continue to talk to your doctor and take his advice, because I don't know computations of medicines, or the chemical makeup of medicines, and the like. I'm just making a statement. And do your own research. Read your books. Do your own research. Um, Insofar as the CDC is concerned, the Center for Disease Prevention, and but it just seems to me that, getting back to my original subject, that the leaders of Africa said that they did not want to eradicate their own people. So um, first it was AIDS that propagated itself in the 1980s. Then there was Ebola that followed quickly after that. Uh, and it's more like it was a threat to let the African leaders know that, we can do whatever we want with you, whether you abide by our laws, and I'm saying the Cabal, whether you abide by the Cabal's laws or not. Um, that's under um, my mind thought. And I've spoken to people in France, and they say, "Oh no, if the CDC or America have had created AIDS, there's so many people in Europe that hate America that uh, they would definitely accuse them of it." And you don't see that. But my thing is that every government in the world is uh, in bed with the cabal. They want money, they want power. So this is what they are willing to do: eradicate people. And a great percentage of that is water bottles, ingesting the chemicals that make up the plastic of water bottles. Now, it's not just the plastic. It's something else that's aligned within the chemical bond of plastic, which is a deliberate attempt to eradicate people, depopulation. And I'm making this video because I did not include pill packages or pill bottles, which are plastic. And it just dawned on me just the other day that, oh my God, I'm encasing my pills in plastic. There's no other way pills uh, are packaged. In the 19, well, I would say 1930s, 1940s, 1950s, it was in case medicine was, pills were just in paper, in paper bags, and paper wraps, and the like. Now, when you get to supermarkets and the way they package things, everything is in plastic, um, and styrofoam. Meat is porous. Everything is porous. So even when an animal is slaughtered and packaged in packaging, in plastic and styrofoam, the meat still sucks in, for lack of a better word, or leaches in chemicals from the element that's around it. So meats, your beef, your fish, your chicken, cheese, sucks in the chemicals of the styrofoam and of the plastic wrap. This is how depopulation happens. And people don't see that. Another way of depopulation is through cable. 3G, 4G, now 5G is out, and cable companies are saying that, oh, you need 5G to run your television and Wi-Fi and everything in the house. Now there are refrigerators that that have TV screens in them. There's Alexa that runs everything in your house. It can turn on the lights. It can turn off the lights. It turns on your television. It turns on all your kitchen appliances. And it's not as virulent as it will be in the near future. I would suggest, or I would think that in this 2019, the end of 2019, are going to see a lot of 5G running articles. Look at your cars. Every car has navigation in it. Humans and electrics are like water and electricity. They don't match. As a human, you get sick from a lot of electricity that's in your house. We're bombarded with it. Our chemical element, our chemical makeup as humans does not include the chemicals and the electricity that are in wires and televisions and computers and watches and cell phones and all of this. You've heard in the very beginning when there were cell phones, a lot of people sued cell phone companies for getting brain cancer because you always put the cell phone up to your head. So there was a famous case in New York City where a woman sued because she had brain cancer, and it showed through x-rays that the cancer was uh, the figuration of the antenna. So what did the cell phone companies do? They eradicated the antenna, and now you get cell phones that look like this. So no longer are they the flip phones, and no longer are they antennas. But what gives you cancer is the powerful ion battery that runs your computer and your cell phones. And so that also makes you an antenna. All your messages, all your cell phones, all your texts are going up to the quote unquote cloud, which is a satellite in space. So each and every person that has a computer or cell phone, uh, their uh, their fingerprint, first of all, is uh, is drawn up to the satellite and brought down to uh, government installations and and archives. So don't think that just because you're not in trouble legally or with the police or what have you, don't think that they don't have your information. When when you're a child and you're just born, when you're an infant, and the doctor and the nurses take your fingerprints and footprints, that's the beginning of you being brought um, onto the wire, for lack of a better adverb. Um, it starts when you're born. That imprinting of knowing who you are, what you do, what your diseases will be. Uh, uh, it's almost predestined who you're going to be. Um, and it gets even more worse because now that there is the RFID chip, the radio frequency chip, um, which has been formulated and has been around since the 1980s, but they're just bringing it out now. And every financial, every medical file, every job that you've been at, every school that you've been at your grades, what's predestined insofar as your medical makeup is concerned, your DNA, your RNA, everything is now on chip, whether you know it or not. Do your research. Don't believe me. Do your research and find out. So I wanted to thank everybody for listening out there. Please subscribe, hit the bell, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you again real soon.